Alright guys, I've finally gotten a chance to get a little bit of free time, and today what I want to do on the Deathkart is get our DDM Backbone installed underneath the car. And I've also got some of the blue paint that took forever to find. So this blue sparkle Rustoleum paint that we've been using has been sold out pretty much everywhere, and I was actually able to get about 5 cans. So we should be able to finish painting this bumper. So once that's done, I can throw the taillights back in and we'll be able to actually try to take it for a drive. Now the other thing I've got to play with over the next couple days is the pedal. So we've had the pedal working, but it seems like we still have some issues with it falling flat on its face. So we're thinking that maybe if we swap out to the CTS-V pedal, which is right here, it might work. Now the problem I had yesterday was off camera. I did try to plug this in and see if it would work, and it wasn't working at all. The computer was getting no pedal read while it was running. So I'm going to try to mess with a few things and maybe try a few different kind of previous versions of the calibration to see if maybe that works, if that helps. But what was weird was after I unplugged this and I plugged back in the C5 Corvette pedal, even that wasn't working yesterday. So I don't know, we're gonna have to mess with that, spend some time. But first I just want to pop that backbone in. Let's go ahead and get this thing all painted, and then I can actually put the taillights back in. From there, if I can get even the stock pedal working, I can at least go out and take it for a drive just to see what's going on. And then from there, hopefully we can see what's going on. The CTS-V pedal should work. According to PSI, this is on the recommended list of pedals, and I want to use this one because this will actually bolt into the stock Solstice location. So I've already got the extra little bracket somewhere. I don't see it, but anyway, that'll all bolt on in the factory location versus this where I kind of had to just drill some holes in the firewall, and it's fine. I mean, it works fine, but it's not as good as the stock location. So I'd like to get rid of this and swap it out for the CTS-V if we can get it to work. So let's see what we can do. And I wanted to do a quick comparison for you guys of the DDM Backbone versus the factory piece. So the factory piece is very thin. It's just kind of stamped gauge, thin gauge steel. You can actually flex it pretty easily, just kind of pushing on it. Where this new piece is going to be a 1/2 inch thick of, I believe it's just all CNC cut billet aluminum. So definitely much beefier, much heavier duty. And this is actually going to kind of tie in the bottom of the car and make it a little bit stronger, make the chassis structure a little bit stronger. So I'm going to get under there, maybe get this baby jacked up a little bit, get some room. And it should be pretty simple. They actually give you new hardware. Because this is so thick compared to the factory piece, you actually need a little bit longer bolts, which is good because the stock bolts were super rusty. I want to say a couple of them even snapped off. Alright guys, so I got the car jacked up, and what I was hoping initially was that I could just kind of come under here and pop in the brace with the exhaust up, but no go, it was way too close. So anyway, just took literally 30 seconds and I went and popped these off the hangers, and all I got to do now is slide under here and slip that in place and put in whatever it is, 8 or 10 bolts, and we're going to be done with this piece. Alright fellas, I just got that backbone put on. Let me show you what this looks like. So there really ain't a whole lot of cool stuff to see, but let me crawl under this bad boy. Ain't a whole lot of room either. So you do get kind of the cool DDM Works logo on there. It's kind of hard to see the brace, but yeah, there's the brace. So again, we were short 2 bolts, one on this corner and one on the other diagonal. So I think that's that's fine. There's still plenty of bolts. This baby's thick. Maybe one day we'll drill that out. Maybe if we ever get a lift. Probably not. So for paint, there's really nothing new here. You guys have seen me do the same paint before on the Deathkart. I like to get it blue first with this, go over it, add the sparkle, and then top it off with a clear coat. So coming in to paint this bumper, I moved the jack over a little bit just to try to get the rear end up just a little bit. I also decided let's go ahead and leave the exhaust down for now, and I'll slip it back in the hangers after, just because it's easier to put my cover over top, so I don't want to get any paint on our beautiful new exhaust. I do need to go ahead and pop this plate off, and then I'm probably going to start doing is just kind of taping everything off. We'll get this thing hit up with some Scotch-Brite or something just to kind of scuff it, and then I'm going to hit it with blue, hit it with the sparkle, hit it with clear. So hopefully all throughout the day. I'll just kind of let it dry. I've got my my heater running up there, and we are ready for paint. So I got this thing kind of taped up good enough, and just going to probably go ahead and hit it with some wax and grease remover real quick, especially right here. This is from where we used to have the exhaust coming out. So, and then there's one little section I got to touch up on the front bumper where one of my bikes actually had fallen and nicked it right there. So I'm just going to hit that up again with some blue. And just to reiterate, guys, with your paint jobs, preparation is the most important thing. If you're not taking the time beforehand to scratch the surface and prep the paint and you know, put on wax and grease remover and tape everything off, your paint job's gonna look like crap and it's not gonna last. That's the worst part. You know, you do all this work and then 3-6 months from now things start chipping off, flaking. That really sucks. So take a few more minutes, make sure you guys do your prep, and your paint job will be a lot better than what it would be otherwise. So for example, on this one, you know, I did take the time just to take my scuff pad, just to scuff it. This paint's pretty fresh. It's only like a year old or so, and it's, you know, barely has any miles on it or any rain or anything like that. So just kind of scuffed it, and then we hit it with the wax and grease remover just to remove any contaminants. And this is not, you know, this is a budget build, so we don't really care a whole lot, right? But I just want it to last, you know, for the last couple of years before we have to do any major touch-ups. That's great. You can see there's already been some damage from, you know, us dropping tools on it and stuff like that. So just want to get it cleared, get it fixed, get it looking better than it does right now. And here we are with the first coat of paint done with this blue top coat. Turned out pretty good. I think I got everything. That was a big problem the first time I painted this. I don't think I jacked it up, and I didn't do a good job getting underneath. So it looks like everything is kind of completely covered now. So I'm going to let it dry 15 minutes maybe. I'm going to come back, probably just finish it off with the rest of the can that I got, and then let that dry for probably another 20 minutes or so. And then we'll come back, hit it with the actual sparkle blue. This stuff right here. And that stuff sucks. This will probably take a few cans, where this took like maybe 3/4 of one can. This will probably take 3 cans just to get coverage, just because it goes on super thin and there's always issues with the tip of this thing clogging. Sometimes you only get a half can and then your top's all screwed up and you can't get it to spray anymore and you have to try to switch tops, and it's crazy. So can't really, the outcome of this stuff looks awesome. I can't really recommend it just because it sucks to use it, but it looks pretty cool. This is all dirty and, you know, needs some quick detailer sprayed on it, but out in the sunlight and stuff, I mean, this stuff's super sparkly. It looks awesome. This is the silver, this is the blue, then we have the red. This is super dirty, but it looks cool. I mean, it looks awesome. You really need a lot of clear coat to put over top because there is so much glitter, and I find that using spray paint clear coat doesn't do the greatest job. Like, I wish I actually, you know, if I was really crazy, I would just tape this whole thing off and just spray the whole thing with my gun and spray it with some nice clear coat, get it looking real wet, real slick, but that's too much work. All right, fellas, we got 2 coats of blue top coat on here. I'm gonna go ahead and start spraying this, so kind of show you what it looks like as I apply it. Ooh, and just like that, 1 can, totally gone. And I mean, got pretty good coverage, but I'm definitely still gonna give it 1 more coat. But it's nice and warm in here in the garage, so it's drying pretty good too, but looks good. Once the clear coat's on, it'll really be a lot shinier. But yeah, pretty happy. At least I was able to easily spray through this can, so that's great. Let's hope the next one's just as easy, and then at least I'll have a couple cans left for some backup paint. But actually, you know what? I didn't even get to spray the front, so I still have to actually spray the glitter on the front too. So that's how fast this stuff goes. All right, so we got the top coat of this blue done, well, the sparkle, and you can see all the cracks in here. So I've had this happen a couple other times before, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm applying that sparkle stuff a little bit too wet, and then it causes some kind of reaction with the blue undercoat, causes it to crack. But anyway, this one was pretty bad, so I was putting it on heavy, so that may be why, but I'm just going, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and spray the clear coat over it, and we're gonna call this thing good enough. Sort of looks cool. It's kind of like a wrinkle cracked finish, so whatever, good enough. All right, guys, kind of the last thing we're going to do now that I got this clear done, I am going to go ahead and kind of untape everything, and then I just want to touch the edges with clear for where the blue meets the silver, so I can just kind of clear coat all that in together, so there's no kind of seams or anything like that. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I'll probably give you guys some update tomorrow, but got the exhaust back up, got this stuff all untaped, so it's looking good. I think it definitely looks, much better with this blue, kind of matching this. And then, of course, it matches the front. So, yeah, super happy with it. Looks great. So I'll probably shoot another update tomorrow. I'm going to try to pop the taillights back in. And let's see what else. I'll probably play around some more with this pedal. But we'll have to do some calibration stuff, get the laptop, bust out HP tuners, and try to switch some stuff around, see what's going on. But I'm hoping that just with mock-up, I can get the pedal to work. And then if this works, I'm going to go ahead and unbolt the old one. We'll bolt this back into the stock location, and then we can kind of play around with it. But it would be really cool if that worked, because I should be able to drive this thing tomorrow. I think the only thing I'm really missing is a clamp. So if not tomorrow, maybe I'll have to order this. And anyway, hopefully it'll be in the next couple days, maybe before Friday. I can just try to get this thing out of the street, just see how it's running, and just see if there's any other tuning issues that need to happen and all that good stuff. And if not, we've got a guy who's kind of local to us who can do some tuning, get it on his dyno and figure out any issues. So we'll see what happens, but that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you guys in the morning, and I'll give you guys an update tomorrow. All right, fellas, so today's a new day, and I'm just out here real quick. I already went to AutoZone. I got the clamps that I needed, and so we got the air intake all buttoned down, so just had to get a new clamp for this, one of these guys. That's all good. And moving to the back, now I'm just working on taillights, putting this back on the plate. So I've already got the bolts in. I've just got to tighten it down. This actually fit really great. Didn't really scratch the paint, nothing like that. So super stoked. Just got to slide this one in, get those jammed in, and then I can actually load in a new tune. I'm going to plug back in the original Corvette pedal, and we'll see if it starts and runs with that pedal. If it does, I might go try to take it for a ride, and then later on I can try to mess with the new CTS V pedal. All right, fellas, we got it back together. We got this stock pedal working, so I'm going to go ahead and take it for a little rip. Got my little rider. You ready to go? All right, so it's weird to see this thing on the ground because it's so freaking low, but I'm always used to seeing it on these stands. So anyway, I'm just going to take it for a little bit down the road. I'm sure it's still going to run like crap with the pedal because we didn't switch it yet to the CTS V pedal, but I wanted to just kind of drive it. I think we're going to have some coolant leaks still. I tightened all this stuff down, but I did notice that right here on this thermostat housing, we had some leaking, so I tightened this a little more. But last time I drove it, I think all this stuff was leaking. I have tightened this since then, but I'm still worried. We also had a lower pressure radiator cap last time, and that was leaking too, so I fixed that. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to go down the road real quick. All right, guys, so I just got back from just a quick 1 or 2 minute drive down the street. It did start to get hot pretty quickly, so we turned around, came back. By the time I got back in the driveway, it was at about 199, 200. So we are having a buzzing coming from one of the fan relays, the fan 1 relay, which is good because the fans haven't worked since one of the original tunes. And so I'm thinking maybe we just have an issue. We need to replace that relay. So I'm going to try to replace that, see if that'll get our fan to come back on, or I don't know if maybe I caused some kind of issue in the tune. I got to mess with it. And then just like I thought, I do see just a dribble coming out of that water pump housing, or I'm sorry, thermostat housing. So I'm going to try to tighten that a little bit more, get a little more torque on it. Nothing else looks to be leaking yet, which is good. I also have to check the fluids just to make sure we're not really low on the radiator fluid and all that stuff. And then, of course, the big thing is we still have the drivability problems that we did before. So I definitely need to see if I can swap that pedal out. Let's see if that causes it. If that doesn't fix it, I have no idea. At that point, we're going to have to take it to a professional to find out what's going on. It's got to be something really stupid in the tune, just something I don't have turned on or turned off or disabled or whatever. So we'll see. So let's try playing with this, and we'll see what happens over the next few days. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. And if you haven't checked out some of the other videos that I have uploaded, we have some cool stuff on some go-karts, on my new Jeep that we just got, and I'll be uploading some more stuff here shortly. But if you like it, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.